first, a tasteful glimpse of me bottom.
Which one should I watch?
I say, Enterprise.
What?
Why watch those silly non-seasonal movies when we could watch this?
What's that?
Well, it's Hocus Pocus, but we don't actually have it, so we're just gonna stream it.
Oh, okay.
Sometimes I watch a movie and I love it. Other times, not so much. Then I talk about it with somebody I may or may not be related to, and they don't agree. That's where Movie Advocate comes in. We take a movie we either love or hate and try to convince the other person that they're wrong. And the best part is I win every time because we're talking about movies. Okay, let's go! Hello, welcome back to Movie Advocate. I have my coffee, Emily is here. Hi, Emily.
Hi, Jamie. Can I call you Jamie on these, or should I be calling you Uncle Jamie?
Let's go with Uncle Jamie. I'm kind of a stickler. I know you're grown, and I like the formality. Apparently, I'm a formality guy.
I'm sorry, Emily.
Today on Movie Advocate, I'm going to find out why Hocus Pocus is the phenomenon it is, because when it came out, I was like a young teenage boy. Like
I wasn't here.
No, certainly not. But I had teenage angst. That's what I had.
Lots of teenage angst in this movie.
For sure. And so, I think I probably would have really connected with it, and on that level at least, had I seen it at the time. But the ad for it was like an ad for babies. I would argue that this might be the last Disney trauma film.
Oh, okay.
What do you think this is? Has Disney made a movie since Hocus Pocus that elicited quite this much trauma on the audience?
Because of,
horrible
the
child
on-screen.
death.
Yeah, death.
Horrible child death. Because it's usually horrible mother death.
Yes, parents die.
Up to this point, right?
Correct.
So, since this movie is this the last of the old guard? Has Disney made a movie that is quite like this, both on that front, on the horrible, untimely death front, and this movie's kind of bursting with sex?
Oh, yeah. The number of jokes that just went over my head when I was, I think, 12 years old the first time I watched this, that, 10 years later, I was like, oh, my mom let me watch this? Counselor!
It has the Disney castle on the front of the package!
It really does, all classic and blue and with When You Wish Upon a Star.
And you put it on, it's like do-do-do-do-do. Have they made a movie like this since?
One that is, because would you say that this is, because you mentioned that the marketing was like a baby trailer.
I really felt that way.
So, would you say that this is, marketed towards a younger audience? Because I'm sure that, at this point, Disney has its fingers in so many pies that there is something that has come out under the Disney logo. I just cannot think of it because...
No, certainly not. But I don't...
the subsidiaries.
I know, but, all the subsidiaries kind of fly their own flag,
that
right?
Is true, yes.
Marvel is Disney, but, they don't
Marvel.
wear it.
Okay.
That way, right? Marvel flies their own flag. At the time, this was a movie marketed to children.
Okay.
And I think at the time, when Disney had stuff that was kind of questionable, they were still releasing it as Touchstone pictures.
Okay.
That they were just worried would harm the brand. I think they were still doing that at this point, and they clearly chose not to, which is the thing that makes this a movie from the 20th century, right? It's very sexual, but it's also got, cartoon character witches in it, who are, interacting with just kind of, regular children. That's the thing about this movie. Okay, let's get into the plot. Let's kind of whip through the plot real quick. Because once you are just okay, we have 3 cartoon witches that are played by Bette Midler, Sarah Jessica Parker, and a third person whose name escapes me.
I can kind of come up with her last name, but I do not think I'm going to pronounce it correctly.
Let's put it on the screen! This is your problem, Jamie. Future Jamie. Uncle Jamie. So you have these characters, and they're played very cartoonishly, which I think they have to be, because otherwise they'd scare the children. But if we're worried about the scaring the children.
Then we wouldn't open in the first 10 minutes with a child being killed.
Right. I think that's a good point. Our recurring joke wouldn't be about the protagonist's virginity. Like, that's the running gag in this movie. Roll the clip, Uncle Jamie.
Legend says that on a full moon it will raise the spirits of the dead when lit by a virgin on Halloween night.
A virgin lit the candle.
Some airhead virgin might light that candle.
Brave little virgin who lit the candle.
And he's a virgin. My brother's a virgin.
I had to wait 300 years for a virgin to light a candle.
Are you a virgin?
Look, I'll get it tattooed on my forehead, okay?
We open in, like, the 17th century, something like that. Like presumably
Puritan.
pre-Salem witch trials,
Yep.
but like this is why we need them trials. The plot of the movie is that the witches live forever based on sucking the life force from children,
Yes.
which requires them to drink a potion.
Yes.
Those
I
are the
think the
rules.
potion is fed to the child, which allows them to then
Then suck their life force or whatever. So there are very clear rules. And I think those are basically the only rules. I don't quite know where the candle comes from. Like, they just kind of introduce the candle and be like, these are the rules.
Yeah.
Is there any-
there
Is the candle in the beginning of the movie?
There might be. It might be in the background.
It might
I was
physically
not-
be on
yeah,
the
I was-
set,
but
but,
like,
like-
because you're not looking for it yet.
Right.
And,
Even if it was there, you wouldn't know what it is.
right.
But what I did notice this when we just rewatched it was you can hear Sarah Jessica Parker singing the
Yes.
The-
luring.
luring song at the very beginning of the movie, and then, like, if you don't know what you're listening for, you just might not even notice it's happening,
Right.
which is kind of a neat thing to notice on rewatch. But I think they just kind of set the candle up 2 seconds before it's time to use it. But I'm getting ahead of myself. So basically our opening is the witches are running low on their clock, so they have to recharge. They have to lure a child, make the child drink the potion, suck the life force out of the child, which they do
Yep.
successfully, right?
Yes.
So that offs the little girl, right? So
That's how that works. Yep.
enjoy, children and parents. So, and like her older brother tries to stop it. He is also a casualty, but he is given what I guess presumably is a fate worse than death and an opportunity to avoid a second child death.
Until the very end, where he does.
Yes, until
Move
he
on.
does eventually die. Spoilers. So he gets turned into an immortal cat.
Yes.
Right.
To wrestle with his guilt until kingdom come.
Yes. But he instead decides to guard the candle forever.
And fails.
And fails dramatically. Although, like, how he even knows about again, like, I don't know how anybody even knows about the candle in the first place. But whatever, fine. The candle is made of human fat.
No, the cover of the spell book
Is
sewn
made
of human
is
flesh.
made of human
Yes.
flesh. But I thought they said the candle was made from, like, the fat of, like, a hangman or something like
Oh.
that.
Okay.
We'll check. We'll check.
Black flame candle made from the fat of a hangman.
The candle is made of human fat.
No.
Sorry, Emily.
They hang the witches for their crimes. Somehow they catch them. I don't know how. I know
They
they all
don't-
show up out front of the house,
Yes.
and then we just cut to them in nooses.
We don't see
For
them.
kids.
We see Winifred like whip around some lightning, which
Sure.
I, for some reason, didn't remember
Mhm.
before watching this film, and we obviously see them flying a lot, and obviously there's the potion drinking, but other than that, they don't seem to do like a lot of like offensive magic.
It's expensive.
It's but
Can't be doing spells left and right. It's expensive. Think of the Disney Corporation, Emily, when you're throwing out these suggestions.
You can like wave your hands and then the victim just kind of goes like, oh, that doesn't
No,
take any
I-
special effect.
I agree. It could just be wind.
Yeah.
Right? You could just blow a fan at them, like, now fall down on the crash mat.
it's
Yeah,
like-
I agree.
Rip your heart as you're.
Yeah, just to prove our point, use your magical powers to shoot these movies out of my hands. Whoa! That's the thing, like, lightning is so commonplace that it's literally effect preset in Premiere in the editing software I
Okay.
use, where I can just literally grab it, drag it onto a clip, and just manipulate the lightning like this. It's quite easy. Right off the bat at the beginning of the movie, we've got a dead little girl, a little boy or a teenage boy cursed to live as a cat forever, and 3 hangings. This simultaneous
Yes.
triple execution from Disney.
Making dreams come true.
Yeah. So then we flash forward to contemporary day, which turns out to be 30 years ago.
Now considered historical.
Yes, exactly. I think if it was a car, it'd be a classic, right?
At this point, we meet our hero, Max, and his younger sister, Danny, who have just moved from California, so that's certainly a culture shock. Coming into New England and Salem, where you now have seasons, and Max is in love with a girl in his class. Sarah? No, Sarah is a witch. They wouldn't name her.
Oh, you're right. One of the witches is Sarah.
Witches.
Yeah, that's a
I'm
good
like
point.
liking on her name.
I have no idea. That's a good point. It doesn't matter. She is essentially a protagonist love interest. The movie talks about her boobs a little too much.
Yeah.
Yabos? Max likes her yabos. In fact, he loves them.
The movie has the younger sister talk about her boobs.
Quite a bit. Like little,
much.
like 100% more than you would expect
Yeah.
a 8-year-old girl to be talking about a teenage lady's boobs. But here we are, Disney for kids. Not that like any of this is like blowing my mind or anything, and like I don't think any of this is shocking. Maybe it's like shocking by contemporary standards, but I gotta tell you, like this is just how it was. You know, like I'm sure you've seen the Goonies at this point.
Yes.
You just send the kids off on an adventure, and like if like there's no threat of death and there's like no stakes,
Yeah.
they're like interested in each other. Although like she rejects him.
Allison. Her name's Allison.
Ah, well done. She rejects him because like he's not into witches.
Yes,
I guess.
because the culture of this town is so steeped in folklore that
Yeah.
all of these teenagers 100% seem to believe.
Or they're at least just like don't brag on their thing.
Yeah, they're just
Like,
happy to participate.
this
But
is-
she certainly, like, she mentions that her mother used to run this museum, so perhaps she more than most is
Yeah.
like buying.
Don't bag on our economy,
Yeah.
Max. On the way home from school, he meets our bully characters. So we have all these like threshold guardians, or just obstacles for a hero to come to overcome, which I think is like it's good basic storytelling, right? Like there's the bullies, there's whether or not like she will ever be interested in, and whether or not Allison will ever be interested in Max, and his little sister he has to take
Yes.
trick or treating even though he doesn't want to. And his parents are just kind of like in outer space. Like they're kind of like everything's kind of at arm's length. Although like you see them doing parenting stuff. Yeah, that's about right. That's about right for the time.
Yeah, for some reason, I thought that, oh, maybe they're divorced and that's why they've moved cross country, but they
no.
don't give much reason as to why they have, and not that it's relevant to the plot, I suppose.
I feel like the dad got a new job or something like that,
Probably.
which makes you get transferred to Salem, Massachusetts. Those are the things our hero has to overcome. Those are the obstacles. Those are the villains. Like that's pretty much it, right?
And this is before we actually get to...
Yeah, until like we
the
actually
house.
get into it. And once they go trick-or-treating, you have another confrontation with the bullies. And once Max and his little sister actually end up at Allison's house where they're having a period correct party of aristocrats.
Her costume is great. All the costumes. in
Yeah,
that
they're
scene.
all pretty neat. I just wonder if they're just like, we're Disney, we have a room full of 17th century
And I
aristocratic
wonder because
costumes.
Max's parents have not been invited to this party because there's another party for
In
the
town.
adults.
Right.
So like, which is there this much of like a class divide in this town where this is all like
It
the
seems that
fancy
way.
people?
That like
and-
all the rich people are at the rich people party, but like the town also has a general town party.
Right.
So for Max to prove to Allison that actually he is an open-minded person
Yes.
who's interested in witches, he's like, fine, take me to the witch house.
Yes.
And then like they just make up the rules on the spot about the candle. He lights the candle anyway, and the witches come back, and it's as simple as that, right?
Yeah.
So now we're off on
Yeah.
adventure, right? Where like the witches have to
Yes.
confront modern day, which is fine most of the time, except for when we get to town party and they just know songs from the 60s, from the 1960s. They just know pop songs from the 1960s.
I existed for several years thinking that I Put a Spell on You originated in Hocus Pocus, which obviously is not true. But I guess I thought for a while it wasn't so far-fetched that Winifred Sanderson can just, whip up a song and get her sisters in as backup.
Well, I think that's right. I think, like, when you have as somebody that made a wacky movie where I was like, I don't know, as the movie gets wackier and wackier, we're making a comedy, we're not taking ourselves too seriously. I think we can just have a song now. I think it'd be fine. And I think it works fine. This movie constantly has them confronting the 20th century and 20th century technology. Mm-hmm. So, like, those two things kind of butt heads that, like, they know the song, but, like, don't know anything else. So, like, did you get a 20th century database downloaded to your head or not? And, like, it doesn't matter.
No, at the end, towards the end of the movie, when they're having that final, like, luring them out to the cemetery, and it's just like, we gotta hold them off till daylight. Winifred is, like, flying alongside the car, and she, like, spurts out a line about, like, I need to see your license, or I'm pulling you over, and she just all of a sudden seems to know, like, the logistics of...
operating a car legally in Massachusetts in the 20th century. Like, how did she know? She knows that too. It was like, oh, she knows some things, but doesn't know what a bus is.
Right.
I think they were all, like, freaked out by the French recording at the high school as well. Also, like, nice high school. They have what is that called? A kiln?
Yeah, like a room-sized
to cure all of their pottery.
Yes. I did like, within the mythology of witches, like, yes, you shove them in an oven. That is method of witch disposal.
Right, and I do think I think it's kind of clear to the audience that because they have their potion that they use to suck the life force out of children, they are sort of immune to most things, but not immune to a hanging.
Right.
So, like, I don't quite know why the hanging worked for 300 years, but burning them alive in a kiln was not effective. Because, like, at the time when we were watching the movie, I was thinking, oh, well, they're immune to stuff because of their deal. And then I was like, oh, wait. I was like, wait, what? Wait, what are the rules? Because sometimes...
That could be, like, the rules specifically tied to the candle that just, like...
Oh, they have 24 hours? Like, they're immune for 24
this Halloween night.
Yeah.
They're good.
Would it be any 24? I thought it'd be any 24 hours until the candle burns down, which I feel like would be a cool thing to cut back to, and the candle's getting lower and lower. But I
think they mentioned, like, the conditions of the spell is a virgin must light it on a full moon on a Halloween night.
Oh, okay.
I think those are...
And then you get 24 hours or something like that, or 12 hours. Because I feel like
Till sunrise.
Till sunrise.
Yes.
Okay. So basically, we have, like, our wacky adventure, like, our bullies get their comeuppance. We meet the zombie. I like the zombie character.
Yeah.
Who they just kind of whip up an origin for super fast. Like, whenever because he's not really important. Like, it would have been cool to have, like, a little bit more in the 17th century and, like, introduce his character.
They kind of tie that in the sequel at the beginning when they're doing their little flashback segment.
I totally don't remember anything about the sequel. That's all gone. Those files have all been permanently deleted. So I really, and then, like, I feel like we have, like, all these, like, delightful little bits while they're on, like, their miniature road trip through the town to, like, just get through this thing. Like, I really like the cop.
Come here. Are you a virgin?
That was not a cop.
Yeah, that's not a cop. He's just a guy in a Halloween costume. Like, that's a fun little scene. The bus driver is, like, a fun little scene.
Yeah.
You have, like, all these little people who just pop up and interact with either our heroes or our villains, and then they're just gone. It's kind of like a fun little bit. You have your little adventure at the high school. How did they end up at the... Oh, I guess they're getting chased by the witches. I guess, is it the first time they get chased by the witches, and that's why they go to the cemetery, because the cemetery is hallowed ground?
Yes.
Until the end of the movie when it's not, and then the witches can go in the cemetery. How does that work?
I don't... like, they can't touch down on the ground, but they can, like, hover on their brooms above it, I suppose.
Is that why the Bette Midler witch turns to stone?
Yes, I think that specifically is what, like, you can see her toes, like, smoking, I think, when she's, like, holding.
Okay, and
Max,
that's why the
and
other two witches
they just dissolve,
explode
yeah.
or whatever. Yes. Okay. So yeah, like at some point it's like, oh no, they unleash their zombie and he's gonna get us. He's like a servant of evil. And like he's not. Like he's just a guy with his own backstory.
Yeah.
He was like, I'm not on your side. F
no,
you.
he was probably sleeping peacefully and
yeah, and he's like, oh thank God, like I finally
I get to
untie my mouth. He's like, oh God. I don't know if he really gets to do anything. But like
he's like an ally in the last act.
Yeah.
So he contributes, I think, and like
yeah, and I think he kind of keeps.
He's
safe.
the reason that Danny leaves the circle of salt that is protecting her because he gets his head knocked off.
Right.
And she goes to help, and then she is now vulnerable, which
that's right.
Obviously moves the battle along.
Hey everybody, it's time for our Charlie break.
Canine interruptus.
Okay. Okay. Good boy, Charlie. So that's basically the movie.
Yeah.
In a nutshell. You know, rules aside, whenever I get like a little bit confused, I think like while you're watching the movie, like you don't really get too lost in the rules. And I do think that like I think like it's about 90 minutes. I do feel like it feels a little long.
Yeah, the beginning, I think. Like every time that I watch it, kind of that segment in between the end of the 17th century segment and the when the witches arrive. And maybe that's just me because like I like the witches and I want them on my screen, and just kind of dealing with this teenage boy and his day-to-day like doesn't interest me as much. And I just like that.
This is a concept in storytelling I refer to as when are we going to get to the fireworks factory?
Right.
When are they gonna get to the fireworks factory?
Because I'm kind of wrapped up actually in the 17th century part, and I'm always surprised actually how short it is, because I feel like that should be like a much longer part of the movie. After they think they've won, and then like they realize they haven't, I feel like it takes a long time for the movie to end. I think I might have closed my eyes for maybe 2 or 3 seconds, and like a sound effect like jotted me back to life. So I don't really think I missed any of the movie, but I think I was just kind of like, when are we gonna get to the climax? And like maybe the pacing's like a little slow for me there. So I think that overall, like this is just like a good little movie, no more, no less. But that is clearly not its place in society.
Right, because they run it 24 hours straight on Halloween.
Now, is that how this happened? Is this like a Christmas Story effect where like TBS?
I don't know how long they've been doing that. Like off the top of my head.
Is that a response to the interest?
I would think so, because I think that Disney has like equally prominent Halloween movies.
Sure. I mean, I know they have a whole bunch of stuff, like, and they have like their Mouseketeers of the day who like make their own Halloween content, right? And surely, you know, the Good Luck Charlies of the universe have their Halloween episodes.
Yes, and like several of the whole Halloween Town saga of the Disney Channel original movies, I think.
Right, and there's like a bunch.
Yeah, there's like 4.
Yeah.
I think 3 or 4.
There's no shortage of content.
No, not at all.
For them. So that's not the problem, or that's not the reason. Which I guess it could have been in the past, but I don't know if they were like doing this. Like I kind of feel like this movie went away, and then at some point in the 21st century had some sort of revival.
Yes, I know like the reason it came, like the reason my mother was like, okay, we're going to sit down and we're going to watch this movie is because we were going to go to a Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween party at Walt Disney World, and that was the year that they introduced the Hocus Pocus Sanderson Sisters Spectacular Castle Show as one of the entertainment.
Like 3 actors in front of the castle.
Yes, and they summon like all the Disney villains and they sing all the songs. They throw in, that would have been 2015.
Okay.
So we went to that, and my mom wanted us to recognize the characters, so we watched the movie beforehand, and that's like when it entered our world. I
Okay.
guess.
So at this point, you and your sister are like young teenagers.
Yes, I
or so.
was 13 and she was 10.
Okay. And like, did it hit for you on first viewing? Or?
I think so. I kind of have like I have more of a fondness for the Disney Castle show. They like obviously it is a Disney park show, so all of the sex jokes are gone.
Of course.
They do the "I put a spell on you," and one of the opening line is like, "Now the witch is back and there's hell to pay." They can't say hell in the Magic Kingdom,
Of course,
so
right.
Winifred makes a big like, "Now there's heck to pay." Like I have to say heck.
So that's right. So you're not old enough for like the 30-year cycle nostalgia.
Right.
But so maybe that's when it came back. Maybe so. I guess like maybe if you're like, I don't know. You'd have to be like a very specific age. I'm almost of the right age to be a millennial, but like I'm just like a little. I'm like a year or two too old, and I'm like a year or two too old for this movie when it was new, and I think that's why I just kind of like miss out on it completely, because like I was too old when it was new. And I was still too old when the revival happened, which kind of feel like it just popped out of the air. Like it seemed very organic to me. Like I don't feel like Disney was like, let's utilize this IP, because like they were just busy elsewhere. You know, like they didn't buy Marvel and Star Wars to not make Marvel and Star Wars content.
Right.
And like, who would have thought that like this would have any legs?
I don't know. Like, could it be like the Bette Midler and Sarah Jessica Parker of it all? Like,
well, that was the question I had for you as well. Is, are you aware of them outside of this movie?
Yes,
Bette
I've
Midler
seen.
As well?
Yes, I've seen Bette Midler. Like, I saw the one where she like plays twins. I think where there are like there are like 2 sets of twins, and she plays one set of twins, and
I've never seen it.
There's someone else who plays like a different set, and all sorts of wacky hijinks take place. Broadway as well, right?
Of course,
so I have like several.
Sure.
And then Sarah Jessica Parker, I certainly know she was in Sex and the City. I've not watched it all the way through, but I also she was in Glee, and so I saw her in that. I guess my introduction to those two would have been in this movie. So like coming in, I didn't have like any preconceived notions about them.
This is on your annual rewatch list now.
Yes, now I watch it on Halloween. Like, yeah, when I was like still in high school, and I guess I wasn't so much trick-or-treating then, but I was like staying up for any trick-or-treaters.
Sure.
To like hand out candy and stuff, and that would almost always just be playing in the background.
Has anything else from like the Halloween town? I'm sure there's like a High School Musical Halloween. Is there anything else on the annual Halloween watch list?
Specifically Disney?
No,
or
in general.
Any. I have like some horror movies. Well, or maybe horror isn't quite the right, because some of them are more psychological thriller. Little Shop of Horrors.
Oh, well, yeah.
Which isn't technically Halloween, but it
I
is.
see what you mean. No, I don't know. And you know, we watched the original ending, and that was pretty good.
Like Knives Out, I think just has cozy fall vibes, which cozy is not a word you typically apply to.
It's like people in sweaters.
But you know, like cardigans.
Yeah. So what do you think it is about this movie that keeps you coming back?
I mean, I'm like many teenage girls in that I had a witch era.
Okay.
I don't know, like, if you were ever exposed to my witch era.
Remember that.
Like, it started when I was 10, and I had some very witchy Halloween costumes.
I remember those.
Yeah, I was very, like, spell casting, and just, I had, like, hand motions that went along with it, and also, like, as someone who's very into, like, musicals and just singing in general, like the Come Little Children.
Yeah, it does. I mean, it has like 2 or 3 songs.
Was very.
It's like a diet musical.
Yeah.
Almost.
It's musical in the sense that like no one's bursting into songs,
Right.
but the songs are like organically part of the.
Is largely diegetic.
Yes, it is. Would you kind of cast Sarah as like kind of that, maybe not femme fatale, but certainly in that she
Yeah, I mean,
the most sexualized of the three witches.
Yeah, I mean, like, she's certainly there to be sexy.
Yes.
I mean, that's certainly when she's not there to be super silly.
Mm-hmm.
When she's not there to be like the kid sister witch.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, the other woman is there to be, like, the middle witch.
Yes, the big middle sister energy.
Like middle sister.
Yes.
Yeah, yes. Like,
she seems to have the unique talent of, like, actually sniffing out the children.
Yes. Like, she finds the children, Sarah Jessica Parker lures the children, and Bette Midler makes the potion to finish the deal. So they can, like, snort them like they're cocaine. So for me, this is sort of very slowly, because I think like when I had the idea to do this, I was like, oh, I don't know if I like this movie. And, like watching it the second time, I'm experiencing the same phenomenon I experienced. Have you ever seen the movie where Meg Ryan jumps off the Brooklyn Bridge to travel back to the 19th century?
I have not.
Hugh Jackman is like the inventor of the elevator in the 19th century, and when he accidentally comes forward in time, it's before he's invented the elevator, so all of our elevators stop working.
Okay.
Meg Ryan's boyfriend, who I think is played by Liev Schreiber, like falls down an open elevator shaft because like he just didn't know the elevator stopped working. So it's like this weird time travel movie, which results in like Hugh Jackman as the 19th century inventor of the elevator coming to like the early 21st century, and ends up, you know, doing a commercial for butter. And, like looking into the camera. I'm gonna give you a little taste, folks, because I'm afraid to show the clip because of YouTube copyright strikes. Rich creamery butter. Is there anything better? And it's just, so the first time I watched this movie, I was just like, what the hell is happening? Like, this is a really strange time travel romantic comedy movie with a butter commercial in it for like, and like if that movie came out now or like had Adam Sandler in it, it would have been an actual butter that like you could just go to the store and purchase. Anyway, like I watched it a second time and I was like, I don't know, like Liev Schreiber has like this really nice speech because everybody thinks he's insane because like he's traveled backwards in time and he's like messed up the timeline and he has to like fix it, and he ends up in a mental institution and like he has to make this little speech to get out. And like the first time I watched it, I was just like, this is some junk right here. But like I guess I've seen it at least another time since then. I was like, I don't know, like, it kind of has its charm. It's like good fundamental storytelling, and I'm kind of getting to that place with this movie.
With Hocus Pocus? Okay.
And I think maybe the third time I watch it, I'll just be like, this movie's just adult.
Yeah, it's just like I can't say wholesome, can I?
I don't know. Like I think that's kind of the problem with contemporary movies that get released under the Disney flag. Like the new Snow White is completely and totally devoid of spice.
Sure.
And I think, like if you're gonna update something, you need
Did the original Snow White have
no,
much
but that
spice?
like no, certainly not. But like it's an animated movie from the 1930s,
Yes.
right? Like you got like Hays Code stuff to deal with, I think, at this point. But like like if you're gonna do it again, like do something. And they're like, well, we stretched it. And I was like, I think that's kind of the thing that's missing, like this kind of element of danger, this element of, I don't know, just kind of like maybe people are doing something they shouldn't, and like that's kind of fun. Maybe you just gotta whack Bambi's mom at the beginning of the movie and traumatize a couple kids, because otherwise the story has no weight and has no stakes. Maybe that's why like we have to constantly hint that like maybe we're supposed to infer that Max and Allison had a little victory party. Like maybe like we're supposed to infer that these things happen, like their lives are at stake, like literally, like because we've already seen the witches kill. Yeah. We know that like the stakes are high, and like maybe when you kind of like gloss over that, maybe you lose something, and maybe we're like, oh, like nobody would ever make a movie like this now. I'm like, I don't know, maybe you should. I'm not, like, is that the thing that keeps people coming back? Because it has something that you kind of can't get anymore. Is that preposterous?
No, it doesn't. Like, I'm trying to think, has any movie studio really done like a Halloween film that is not like a slasher horror, like specifically like Halloween?
Yeah, or just a PG movie that absolutely stretches the bounds of PG. You know, whereas like Marvel will make PG-13 movies.
Right.
Because like they want their violence, they want their occasional profanity. They make solidly PG-13 movies.
Yes. Is PG-13 like fairly recent in like the world of ratings? Did it kind of...
I think PG-13 is from... It was another one of those ratings that showed up for like a specific movie.
Okay.
Like I think like Bonnie and Clyde is where we got like the R because like we needed something to be like, yeah, like this movie's violent, but like it doesn't deserve an X. PG-13 was for like some specific movie in the late 70s or possibly early 80s that we needed something that was like, this is not a PG movie, but it's not an R either. And I feel very confident that this is a PG movie.
Okay.
Yeah,
do you think if it was exactly as it is and released now, would it get stuck with a PG-13 rating?
That's a good question, but I think...
Or do you think it wouldn't like even be made?
I think if there's money to be made, the movie's going to get done.
Right.
And they will take out whatever they need to get the rating they want. Sometimes, and this has been going on, people have been doing the dance with the rating agency forever. Well, they will put stuff in the movie that they don't particularly want in the movie just to negotiate after they get the rating they don't want. And then they say, well, we'll take that thing out that I never really intended to have in the movie anyway.
Fascinating.
Like a famous example is the big climax in Kill Bill is a giant sword fight scene, and it just cuts to black and white. Which has been a time-honored tradition to tone down the blood.
Right, yes.
You know, and then it just cuts back to color. And that's how you avoid the X.
Yeah.
You get back to the R. But yeah, man, I think I've kind of turned a corner on this movie.
Okay.
How much that matters, I'm not sure. You think you'll watch this next year?
Probably, yeah. Yeah, I talked about like just kind of having it in the background. Like it's not necessarily something that I'm watching every time like, oh, there's that part, oh, there's this part, oh, there's this part. Like I'm gonna kind of tune back in for the Come Little Children and for I Put a Spell on You and a couple of other parts, but like for the most part, like I just like the vibes of this movie.
And it falls under cozy.
Yeah, kind of, yeah.
At what age would you introduce this movie to a child?
To a child?
Just like whenever they start talking about, you know, the other kids in their class, and I like them kind of way. Is that when you break this out? I was like, well, I think they're ready for that.
I guess. My sister was 10 years old, I think, when we watched this for the first time. I'm fairly certain even more of it went over her head than what went over mine. And I think that could be said of like children of many ages. We're harping on this killing of a child at the beginning, but it's not like...
It's pretty glossed over.
Yeah, it's very tame. You just kind of see her in the background, just slumped over. Her hair has turned white, which I guess is to signify...
She's been drained.
But it's not like she's torn apart.
No, certainly not. And I guess I would say, from an emotional standpoint, the death of her brother at the end of the movie,
because he gets
much harder.
a little flattened. Even like the kid, like it's even a bit more like visceral.
That's a different part.
Oh, okay, yeah, that's the first part.
The bus and he just reanimates, which I think is like done in a wacky sort of whimsical way. Whereas at the end, like it is felt emotionally as like this earned thing because the young sister has like become attached to him and like they're gonna like take him home and make him a part of their family. But he gets to go home to his family, you know, and like he finally succeeds in his mission. And I connect with that emotionally. I think all that works pretty well. But I think that is probably the death that is felt. Right. You know. Again, fun for kids.
Yeah. I mean, everyone has to let go of a pet at some point.
Yeah,
so.
I think so. Yeah. I mean, I think, I guess like if like you're not gonna tell a story with emotion and like feeling and stuff, then like what are we doing?
Why are you telling a story?
Yeah. I think that's good.
Hocus Pocus.
Yeah. Hocus Pocus.
Up and down!